Hey guys, it's Erica. Welcome back. Today I want to tell you about the 5 classes that I taught. And every time I teach, I try to think of a theme, like not just for my own edification, but for the purposes of these videos. I figure if you watch, maybe we should, I don't know, kind of have a point, even though these are a rundown of my classes. But today, the word of today is adaptation. I think actually that should be our word every day. But as I look through these 5 classes, I had a trial class, I had some regulars, I had a new student in a supplementary class. There was definitely a lot of opportunity to adapt. And so in my first class, I had Joy. I have her earlier. She's part of like my Fantastic Four that I have, my 4 girls that I love teaching on Monday. I love all my students, but Mondays are always fun. It's kind of cool when your Monday is like a good start to the week. Anyway, all that being said, we are in Unit 11 in Level 2. And this is something new. Well, maybe not new, but if you started in 2017, this might be new. We start to introduce past tense in level 2. And it always struck me as odd, like, why are we introducing like past tense when we haven't even talked about the days yet. I love the beginning of level 3 because the first thing, bam, like we're going to be showing you past tense later on in level 3. So in unit 1, we're showing you the days of the week and we're going to orient ourselves like today is this day. So as we got to this, we'd encountered the word yesterday. We encountered it earlier in the week and we encountered it again today in this class. Yesterday. It has 3 syllables. It's got some weird sounds. We're saying it quite a bit. But what the heck does it mean? I figure if I'm going to make you say it, we're going to learn what it is today. So some students know what yesterday is. Maybe they've learned this in school. I think Joy is only in grade 1, so I don't know if they've covered that yet in her English class at school. And when I circled it and said, "Do you know yesterday?" And she can tell me whether she knows a word or not. And she's honest. She said, "No, no, teacher, I don't know." So I pulled out a calendar. I always like to keep a calendar in class, and I have a smaller one that just has like days of the week. We could have used this today, but I don't know. She seems to be oriented to dates. She likes to write dates in class sometimes. So I said, "Oh, this is today. And she said, "Today is," and she wrote out Thursday, but she kind of threw me a bone. She wrote it in Chinese, but instead of writing the character, the Hanzi for 5, she wrote 5. And then she wrote, it must mean like day or something. I think it means day. I can see this little character. Anyway, and so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In China, their day, I think it begins on Sunday. So yeah, Thursday would be the 5th day of the week. So she wrote that and I said, "Yes, today is this day." And we're not teaching Thursday, just let's stay oriented. She knows numbers. Today. I said, yesterday. And I don't think she wrote the 4, but she wrote there was like a calendar page in the lesson. That's what made me think of this. So she circled it and said yesterday. And then she went this way and drew a question mark. So I was like, okay, well, tomorrow is this day. And again, I just kept the language simple. We're not going to introduce stuff. We know day, we know is. And so, yeah, yesterday we oriented. So that was a win. I'm curious to see where this is going to go, but she's definitely going to be ready by the time we get to level 3. This is great because I've laid a little groundwork. So when you see an opportunity, go for it. Don't be afraid. And it used maybe like an extra minute of class time just to quickly do that. And she got excited and started writing a calendar, which led to more scribbling, but that's okay. So my second class was a trial class with lots of IT issues. Those new trials are awesome if the child has a good network, if they've updated their VIP Kid app. A lot of stuff has to go right. I think I'm going to write, maybe if I have time, I might write a ticket to VIP Kids saying, "Hey, can you send out suggestions? Can there be like a tech check before these kids get online?" Just some kind of quick note to the parents, like make sure the app's updated. We're going to be using a lot of resources. Make sure it's updated. Make sure your software is updated. Otherwise, this class is going to be horrible. You're going to have a bad experience with your whatever. So I hung in there. I ended up trying to switch to the older classroom, which doesn't use so much, I don't know if it's using Flash, but it uses a lot of animation. So I went to the non-animated class to see if maybe that would work, and it didn't. But I will say, if you teach trials, like hang in there, don't give up. Sometimes I've been really quick to just say, "Hey, firemen, there's too many IT issues. Like there's only a couple minutes left. Can you mark this as like IT issues?" But you won't get paid for that. I don't think you get 100% pay for student IT issues, or obviously a student no-show trial. You're only going to get 50%. So I hung in there. I don't know if this is just dumb luck, if I got like the right fireman, fireperson, firewoman, fireman. But they wrote me a note that said, "Teacher, it's okay. We've tried to call the parents." And this is like after 25 minutes. "This class will be marked as scheduled. You will receive full pay." Like, I wonder if people, if they know that that's what we're looking for. So they wrote that. I screenshotted that sucker real quick. And then I went to the end slide, drew a heart, gave all 5 stars and said, "Oh, thank you." I don't think the student was even in the classroom anymore. They kept coming in and out, in and out. Thankfully, we were able to, there was something I could write feedback about, because the fireman did say, "Hey, make sure you write feedback too." So I just wrote something like the student repeated the words well after the teacher. There's probably like, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes of class that I could write about. So I wrote about that. I observed the parent like trying to encourage their 4-year-old to speak in complete sentence, like, it's a peach. I'm like, peach. So I encouraged sentences a few times, but then just really focused on getting the kid to say peach, banana, kiwi, mango. She did that really, really great. It was cute. Her name was Cherry. I thought that was kind of funny for the fruit lesson. So I made sure I wrote about that in feedback. I talked about the silent period, right? We know we need to encourage the parents to just chill out. It's okay. Like, your student doesn't need to speak in complete sentences. Let's get the vocab down. So we'll see where that goes. I did my typical trial thing, sent a card, "Good job, congrats on your first class," and sent them a few gems, little gem box, the smallest one. I've been doing that with trial classes. Well, I don't know where it'll go, but hey, it's worth a shot, right? 10 tokens. So my third class was with a student named Summer and her sister August and Dad. They all showed up to class. Dad wasn't there in the beginning, but Summer and August were. And so I don't know how you feel about it. I don't care. It's your class. You want to have both kids come on, that's fine. I'm going to focus on the main student. So I made sure I knew who Summer was, because there was some confusion about who was Summer and who was August, but they sorted that out for me. And this class was a little above Summer's level. She could read okay, but she just wasn't quite ready to talk about punctuation. She wasn't quite ready for some of these things. She did pretty well with putting the right punctuation on things. I actually came up with 3 hand motions. It was like, this is the period, like stop. Kind of stole that from Britain, the full stop. Exclamation point, we were just kind of like over the top with that, and like question mark. And I think I had a question mark I might have held up, but to get her to associate question mark without me actually showing her one, we did like questioning, like, So that worked pretty well. But Dad hopped in. When we got to the point where she was supposed to correct sentences, that was definitely a we do moment. And Dad jumped in, and he was kind of helping with pronunciation, and his pronunciation was pretty good. He definitely speaks more like of a British English, but it was very good. I didn't fight with Dad. Again, this is kind of a thing. Some people, and I know I did this in the beginning, was really like kind of almost like battling with the parents, like, stop, get out of here. This dad was actually pretty calm. He would kind of let me speak, but he would speak. It was really clear that his daughter Summer needed a lot of support, and she was doing well with Dad there. It's a grammar class, so I don't know. I just didn't stress. I kind of worked with the parent, and the way I think to win a parent over, I've found, is to like let them correct, but then you correct even better, right? So you show an even better way of doing what they're doing. You show them. I wish I could think of exactly how I did it, but you show them a better way. Maybe you pronounce it just a little bit better, a little bit crisper, or you can always do something I've done before is, when they're trying to bang those complete sentences into the child's head, like, "It is an apple." That wasn't the case for this class, but you could say, "It is an apple." You show them like a little technique, like, "Oh, you can do finger counting." And it's funny, sometimes the parents will like join in with that, and they'll show the student. Anyway, I don't battle parents. It's not worth it. And because I didn't, the class ended really well, and I hope I'll see Summer again, and Dad in August. That's fine. Come back to class. You're paying for this class. It's however you want it to be. So I ended up saying goodbye to Dad, goodbye to August, goodbye to Summer, and hopefully I'll see them all again. It wasn't such a bad class. My 4th class, Bruce, before class even started, he had his camera on. and I think I hit the start class button a little early. And so I saw him and he had some guns. Like, he's had guns before, but he was really excited and he was practicing something to say to me. And so he was so excited. He's like, "Teacher, look." Like, didn't even want to say hello to me. Like, I think he might have said hello real quick and then wanted to get onto the guns. And he told me that his grandma, if it was grandma or grandpa, I mean, let's not be sexist here, maybe it was grandma. Grandma took him to the store and she bought him these two guns. Like, one was like a little dart, like a suction cup dart gun. The other one was like a really realistic looking like M16 rifle. Oh, these gun toys in China, their culture, their interaction with guns is so much different. I know some people get really triggered by that, no pun intended, and get kind of upset seeing guns. And I understand, it could be upsetting for people, but just, it doesn't bother me. I don't know. I was in the military. I don't know. It's just, to me, it's just boys playing with guns. I don't think it means quite the same thing as it might mean in America when kids are pointing toy guns at you. Anyway, all that to say, I had an idea of what I was going to do for a reward with him, but I thought, you know what? We're doing something different. So I took my whiteboard out and I drew a big target, and I could hear him, like, I could see him too. He was like, he was so pumped. Like, I think he knew what I was thinking. And so I drew a target, and it was like, the middle one was 100 and 50, 75, 100. And like, he knew that he couldn't really shoot it, but when he got a star, he was so excited. He's like, "Hold on, teacher, hold on." And he was like getting his sights aimed in, or it was hilarious. And so I would hold up a star and then I would just like stick it on there. And it was kind of predictable. Of course, like, he's not going to hit 100 the first one. So 25, then 75. Or no, I think the first one I let him hit 75, and then like the fourth star, I'm like, "Bruce, what happened? 25." And he started to pretend cry. It's hilarious. It was like the Erica and Bruce show this morning. I don't know what the parents think. And then finally on the fifth star, big surprise, it hit the bullseye. And he was super excited. I don't know. I guess it's just fun. Like, even if I'm letting you win and it's all just a big game, I guess it's better than just sitting there and repeating, right? You got to make it fun. And my final class was with Cindy. She's in level 5, and this was a case of scaffolding down. We were reading the story about George Washington Carver. There's so many big words in there, and there's concepts about going to university. We talk a little bit about racism. He wasn't able to go to school because he was Black. We talked about that. We covered a lot of ground. And so with this, I scaffolded some of the questions down. Instead of focusing on exactly what the question said, we were just trying to get the main idea. Like, did she understand what happened in the story? Does she know what a benefit is? That was one of the words, benefit. So we just talked about that, and that was totally fine. And she ended up wanting to do like a draw along today. You can see I'm up in my castle game. You saw my castle the other day. It was pretty sad. This is not going to be hung in a gallery, but I'm improving. I actually did some professional development yesterday with my niece. We practiced drawing, and I drew this lovely castle. So you can kind of see what I'm working with. This was like me, like taking, 5 minutes to draw this. So we'll see. I love that kind of professional development. Better than some of the seminars I used to have to sit through. But anyway, all that to say, adapt. Adapt, adapt, adapt. Be ready to adapt. Be ready to change. Be ready for whatever comes in your classroom. So as always, I want to thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye.